today. Welcome. This is feedback stream number 60. We have hit it to number 60. We have 23 submissions that we're going to be listening to today. And if you want to submit a song for feedback in the future, you can go to my Discord and submit it in here. The live WIP feedback channel is this one. And I'll go ahead and put it in the chat too so you guys can see that as well and have it if you need it. Our first submission. We're going to go ahead and go up to him and see what's good. This is from Minute Cafe. Hold on with Blip. All right, let's get the music started. Everybody, let me know if you have any questions in the chat. Let's get it done.
Hold on a little while longer, y'all. 'Cause one of these old days, yeah, one of these old days. Yes.
We're vibing. It's a good day. Ain't no bad days.
Sometimes, it's so heavy.
I want to let you know.
Just hold on. God's gonna wipe me all our tears. We ain't gonna cry no more. One of these old days.
Ooh. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that follow, dog. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you. That was a fire intro. That's how we like to start things off. Groovy, feeling good, smooth. This was Minute Cafe with Hold On with Blip. I gotta say, this was pretty good most of the way through. Honestly, it started getting a little repetitive in this section way at the end. This is like, let's see, this is about 2 minutes in. So during these sections, because we dance the same groove, these whole 2 sections. So basically on this 3rd section, we need to start to introduce like a break from the main groove and start to lead them in a different direction and then go back to the main groove, which would then be over here for your last. That would just make it feel like a complete composition. Right now, it just feels like a repetitive loop, and you want to be careful. House music is, of course, loops, and getting a lot of repetition, but you also want to keep the audience engaged and keep the listener on a journey. So this is good though. The guitars really add a lot of feeling and emotion, and the vocals you pick are good. One thing that you could improve upon is, first off, the bass line is really clean and groovy. This reminds me a lot of Daft Punk. Now there's a little like background sound that starts to come in, and the bass line, you start to like lose the intensity of it compared to how it was here. Very clean. So like background sounds, little atmospheres should, you know, be heavily EQ'd so no lows are competing with our bass line. Or take out the mids too, if you need to, so it doesn't compete with the subs, mids, because this is like a bass guitar almost, so there's a lot of mids involved, not just lows. That's clean though, I like that. Otherwise, that's about it. I mean, this is pretty good. It's loud enough, clean, lots of feeling, lots of emotion. Takes you on a nice, it's like it's telling you a nice story, you know. You could do a music video or something with this, you know, like Daft Punk. They be doing the visuals to their music all the time. But good job, I liked it. That's how I get it done. Chill vibes to start off the show. Up next we got Benzi or Benz with Throwing Elbows. Edit feedback. Alright, get it done. Throwing elbows. Boom. Let's go. Should we whip out millimeters? Alright guys, it's coming. Throwing elbows. All right. We got the Throwing Elbows remix going down. That was Benz or Benzi. I'm not too sure how to say it exactly. You can let me know the pronunciation in that chat. But Nevertheless, we got a nice idea here. You know, this is a really good song to remix because it's a hit song basically in our communities. And on top of that, it's really it's fun to remix. If you ever put it in Ableton and look at how the original looks, it's almost like Legos, and it's real easy to build upon it. It's fun. So like I said, good track to pick. When we get into the drop here, the drop sounds like there's not enough dynamics, and it seems like the overall flow can be improved if we start to incorporate like some tricks here. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. Also, the basses in general, like all the mid basses, so not the sub bass, but the mid basses, all the dubstep sounds, those need more compression. They sound very low volume and not like, they almost sound like they're trying to be set free, but they're not being set free. So we gotta let them free with the compression. You pull up the lows, mids, highs. If you use multi-band compression, that will be my recommendation. When you listen to their song here, the guitars and stuff, they're pretty much pros. So they got these dynamics of the guitars really loud, clean. When I say dynamics, I mean you can noticeably tell the difference between something that's loud and quiet, or like something that fades. So if a singer says sing something and it's super loud at the beginning and then it starts to fade off, that's dynamics. Compression will pull up that end, that tail, and make it all loud, so everything's loud, and it removes the dynamics. So we always want there to be a back and forth motion between loud and quiet, which is the dynamics in our full song and our drop. And that's what we need to focus on here. So let's listen. All right, cool. So first off, layering wise, there's a lot of basses, so it's going to be a lot of competing frequencies in the lows, mids. It should be spread out in the frequency spectrum. Like your sussies can be highs, your mid basses, low mid basses. You know, you want to spread them all out the frequency spectrum, because if they're all in the similar range, they're going to compete, and then it'll be harder to mix them and get them sounding clean or loud, which is really important. We want to be able to have it clean so we can get it loud. Now, it's not loud enough. When you listen, this is from the original song. So this is a perfect thing to compare to your track. So listen to this, like how loud the highs are, how loud the mids, how loud the lows are in just this sound. But then if you compare it to your sound, it's almost like everything is getting squished together, and it's like they can't breathe. Also, it's not loud enough. So that's dynamics, and then we also need to make sure it gets loud. So just compression, like I said, knowing how to use your compressors are going to help you a lot. I made a video about compression. It's a complicated subject, but I broke it all down in my latest video about it. So I recommend you watch it. It's going to help a lot, because it'll be easy fixes to get these things loud, and that will give it more energy, and that will make people dance harder and dance more and make people headbang harder. And that's really the whole goal here, is just energy. Cool. And then basically with the flow and incorporating dynamics, basically at these end sections, there's no bass, but it's a very short section. We're getting a lot of loudness and then little tiny spurts of quiet. So these quiet sections need to be almost this might even be a quarter of a bar. So they should at least be like half a bar or a full bar, so we can get some breaks from the intenseness. And if we go back and forth, that'll make it more impactful. So just keep those things in mind. It's going to help a lot. And then lastly, the song is in E minor. So I don't think you transposed it, so it should still be in E minor, like the intro. Like all this is in E minor. So if this is an E, that means your drop should also be in E minor, because they're using a lot of notes in E minor. There's seven out of the 12 notes in E minor are probably being used in this guitar solo. So if we introduce new notes all of a sudden randomly with a different scale, then that could cause issues. We're just going to make sure that this is in E minor. So that means that the root note is E, and that means the sub in the drop should be playing E the majority of the time. So we're going to check on that right now. The mini meters is going to tell you up top too. It's sick. Like, and then our tuner, if we EQ it to only play the lows, then the tuner will work, and then we can tell as well. E1, look at that. Getting it done. So it's a done deal, just like that. That's how we keep it clean, and that is what I like to see. So good job. All right. Other than that, let me know if you have any questions. Just hit me up. Other than that, that's good. Keep it going. Up next, we have It's Oddly with Fear Nothing. We have Reptar. That's cool. Let's get it done. Reptar. 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 Fear Nothing. All right. Well, that's It's Oddly with Fear Nothing. We have the Reptar on the cover art. You know what's going down. So there's actually a lot of different things that I think need to be looked at in this song. One of the main things is, one of the most important things I should say, is making sure that the song is in key. Because like in sections like this, like there's a lot of different sounds, and I don't think it sounds like something is off key and not perfectly. You can almost tell when something's in perfect harmony because we hear it so much in like pop music and in Western music. We're so used to just putting things in perfect harmony all the time that it's real easy to know when there's dissonance or something's out of tune once you start to play around and practice. And that becomes really powerful. So double check, make sure every single thing is perfectly in key and in scale. So if you're writing in D minor, you're only using those 7 notes in D minor, for example. And then you can apply those rules to any one of your scales, F minor, so on. So, of course, you wrote your own note, which is cool. Need to lower sustain. That sustain's definitely too loud. Lower that, make sure it's clean with everything else. One of the main things that needs to be fixed as well is the frequency spectrum in your main bass sounds. So whenever we're making these dubstep basses, it's real important that we have the sub, right, with sub bass, but then we have to have a mid bass, like a dirty, grungy mid bass, and then we have like high frequency basses too. It sounds like a lot of these basses are leaning all towards the high frequency bass, and we're almost like leaving a chunk of empty, missing space for the low mid grungies. Low mid grungy. So you have to also keep in mind of how loud every sound is. So there's basses that are louder, like the loudest. Some basses that are like in the background because they're not as loud. So the ones that are in the background don't really matter if the mids are playing because we can barely hear them or feel them, actually. It doesn't even matter if we hear anything. It's all about how it feels, how the frequencies go in and how it feels. So if something's in the back, we have to push it to the front, and then we have to make sure that we can feel and hear and just get lost in those mids, because those mids are important. It's like dun, 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 dun. That's the high frequency bass. There's also dun, dun, dun. There's lots of highs, and then we have a sub. So there's like empty space. We want to look into those things and overall call and response. So when we're getting into these drop sections, there's no movement between our basses. It's just you looping a bass, basically. You have to be careful because that's going to bring very low energy. We're not going to be able to dance to something like that. There has to be some type of movement between our basses. So call and response is a very simple way to do that. You can practice doing multiple different call and response methods, but essentially you want to have different basses. So maybe you start it with a long bass, and then after the long bass plays, then you have all the fast basses start playing. So I can consolidate this actually and time stretch it. Let's say at a long bass play. And then you would basically after that loop in. So this should be 4 bars right here. Oh, can't see Ableton. Ableton needs to get turn hiding. Yep. Okay. So this section, if you look at the bottom left, it says 3 bars. Usually you're going to be working in 4-bar phrases. So right now the BPM at the top of Ableton is messed up. That's why it's not perfect. But your 4-bar phrase is where your call, response, and fill happen. And that's the loop. Right now you don't have the call. You just have response and fill. And then it goes back to response and fill. So these calls are critical in adding a lot more movement, dance, ability, and just funky freshness. Also, the flow with the full frequencies can be so in all these sections there's a lot of different phrases, so you have to remember, think lows, mids, highs. Did I fill out the frequency spectrum? And then you can move forward from there. Just make sure you get all the regular things done first, my guy. Otherwise, that's a good, decent idea. Keep it up. That is, it's ugly. Next is Nicolas Cage. MAS with attrition. He said he's ready for the Monday. Okay, let's get it done, my boy. Run it for the one time. Oh my Sam Van Houston, what just happened right there? Oh my lord. That was pretty intense, I gotta say. I have to also say that this has good heart in it. Like these sections are very cinematic, you know. and cinematic, real life nature sounds. Distorted guitar, like there's a lot of good elements that you're using here. I can tell that you have a lot of good ideas in your brain. Unfortunately, though, it's real important that, unfortunately, this is not mixed well. So it's real important that you start understanding and studying how the frequency spectrum works, because you have a lot of different elements that are competing with each other and fighting for space in the frequency spectrum. So specifically the lows, the mids, from 100 to 400 hertz. If a lot of frequencies stack around there, that's going to be a huge issue. So you have to be super careful. Basically, every individual sound you add needs to have an EQ on it, and it has to be well thought out how you're EQing it. Even the smallest little bit of EQ can make a difference, so you have to start training your ears. Also, if something is being EQ'd in the middle, mono, that's different than something getting EQ'd on the sides as well, because something could be on the sides and then the middle. So your standard EQ will EQ it all at once, but you could separate them as well if you need to get more advanced mid-side EQ. Like these sections with a lot of distortion in the guitar, you need to be aware that all that distorted guitar is going to basically take up all the space for the low mids. So if we try to add a vocal that's also low mids, that's really dark and low pitch, that's going to compete with that guitar. And you have to use that knowledge in every single section of this song, because in your drop, in some sections, it's very, very muddy. And on top of that, it's really loud. It's too loud, this song. It's coming in at -2 sometimes, and it really shouldn't with this genre. If this is maybe tear-out guns and super loud Murata type stuff, it'd be a little bit different. But this is just regular heavy dubstep. So you want to keep it around -6, -5 LUFS. The LUFS are going to be the accurate way to measure the loudness. And then you got to work on call and response. The energy is very low because you're not setting off anything with the call. We're kind of just diving straight into it. Check this here. So it was sword right here. And then before this, because this is the main motif, this is the main lead, the main rhythm of the track. And that can't be played right at the beginning of the drop. You have to introduce the beginning of the drop with something special, which I like to call the call. So it could be boom, it could be but the main goal is to make it different, because this is going so it's going fast, right? It's not going slow, and it's also not going too fast. It's not going so in the call you could add something super fast that's different, or something slow that's different, and the calls will then be inserted at the beginning of each phrase, each either 4 or 8 bar phrase, depending on that loop back point. And then now you have these special sections all throughout the song, which are taking us off course, and then we get set back on the main motif, the main thing. That's going to add a lot of danceability and add a lot of motion and rhythm, because right now it's a really long, loud song, and there's not a lot of movement or danceability. So you have to fix those things as soon as possible, because something like this would be very hard to listen to. Right now, if you zoom out too, you can see your image is starting to brick. It's like a complete brick of sound. You see this? Just like a brick. That's also an issue. There should visibly be some dynamics as well. Look at this. You can see the silences. So in super loud genres like tearout, some special songs can be an exception. Is you can get it super loud and super clean, but you got to keep this in mind. Most music is not going to be bricked or clipping like this. That means you don't have dynamics. We need there to be dynamics, for sure. The most important thing in music, I think, is those dynamic. That's what the orchestras do, bro. They get it done. Oh, dude, we got dogs outside. All right, good job. That is Attrition by M.A.S. Up next, we got J-Wubs, smoking a cigarette with a skull and a hat. Mystery Demons. Do you have demons? Well, I have. Mystery Demons. The Dynamic Dogs. What? Shout out to all the cool people, all the real people. We going up? Cool, dude. All right. This is some vibes, man. It actually got me. The vocal, the chords or the vocal really reminded me of funk. Like that new genre, funk. I think it's the vocal or the chords. But this is good, man. Lots of emotion. I love the super sols going fast. Vocal is just awesome. You just get lost, in this sound. And that's really important. We need to check how loud this is, though. Yeah, so we're basically -10 LUFS. And to be honest, this should not be that quiet. This should be like -7. So remember, house music's about -8 LUFS. So we should just be a little bit louder than that, like -7, -6 LUFS. That's the perfect range for you to be during a section that sounds as intense as this. This isn't like an intro. Like the amount of energy and intensity in this doesn't need to be quiet. It needs to be loud. So it could be in the intro. Usually intros are quiet, but for this, this sound, it needs to be a little bit louder. And then here in the drop, same thing. -6. Good. Now the resonance coming up. The static almost. Yeah, this. Now this is a big annoying issue that happens from auto filters. When you're auto filtering and automating it, see the resonance is at 14%. Usually we have to turn it down to fix the resonance, but sometimes that doesn't fix it. And the lows of the auto filter are clashing with other lows and causing that weird static issue. So you have to figure that out and fix it and clean it up, because we should not be hearing that weird white noise static-y during a super clean, amazing, ethereal filter. You know what I'm saying? Then over here it starts to get a little bit muddy. That sound. Like almost a sub. Like there's a sub with like lots of distorted tones and like white noise. And that's really making it hard for everything else to breathe. So you might want to like dial back the, not necessarily the intensity of the sub, but you got to add an EQ and kind of remove the high frequencies that are playing so it could blend in with all the other highs that are playing in here. Yeah, because that sub is really making it sound muddy. It's going really fast too. So it's like. So yeah, those are some common issues. That'll do it. Otherwise, good job, man. You've been submitting for a while, and I can say this is one of your best things. Very good. Lots of energy, good emotion. That's what we love to see. J-Wubs coming in with the mystery demons. Now, oh yeah, I should say that didn't really feel demonic at all. I don't think demons should really be in the name. Maybe you should rethink, name it based on the feeling. You know, music is frequencies, frequencies energy, energy is feeling. That's all it is. So if you can match your title with the vibes and the frequencies you have, I'm telling you, it will make a difference. Gus Martinez. Oh, wait, no. Lifer OTT. Yes, finally, someone who has a name that represents the autism. Lifer OTT. Was that 4 T's? Submit and obey. DUBSTEP rhythm. 2024. Bro, if it ain't DUBSTEP rhythm 2024, I don't want it. I just bought a brand new Porsche, whipped it up in the backseat, and now I bought a horse. That horse said his named. Uh-oh, hold up, this ain't a horse. All right, that is Lifer OTT with, what is that called? Submit and Obey. Jesus Christ, I did not realize how aggressive that title was, but I'm all for it. When we sound like a lot of distortiones, and we can call it Submit and Obey. Jesus Christ. Anyways, honestly, I have to tell the truth. This is pretty hard to listen to. There's a lot of different things going on here that it's really harsh to the ears. There's really weird movements in the song. Like there's not any song structure. Composition and song arrangement is very important in music because that's how we move from section to section. And sections usually will have transitions from sections to sections. So whenever there's like something like this is very abrupt. This isn't a smooth transition. If you DJ or mix, you know, it's all about transitioning and mixing in a way so that it's a smooth transfer from one piece to another. And it's the same exact technique that you want to apply here. So listen to this. So this is a huge dynamic shift, which is usually good, right? Going from loud to quiet and then back to loud is really good because it's really impactful for the next time it gets loud. Because if it was loud the whole time, then the energy decreases over time. But if we have the dynamic shift here where it goes quiet and it goes back loud, then we can keep that energy high the whole time. But this is too long. Like it's almost half too long. It should probably be about this. And then boom, drop it again. Because we are in the drop here. But because it's so long, we basically like walked away from the drop and we just randomly start the drop again. So the energy levels are severely low because of these things. If you reference your favorite dubstep artists' song in Ableton, you can see how they transition from each phrase to phrase, and you'll see these amazing genius ways that we're all moving from phrase like intro to breakdown. That's one thing you don't have either, is important key elements of electronic dance music, which is a build-up, or more specifically, just creating tension before the drop. You don't necessarily have to have drums building up, but you want to have suspense and tension being built right before the drop so that the drop is as impactful as possible. But with these sections here before the drop, it's not doing that, unfortunately. It's more just like a bass loop playing, and all of a sudden we just randomly get hit with the drop. So because of that, energy level is like a 2 out of 10, when really, if you implemented these elements that is tried and true, that's been going on in EDM for a long time, then it's going to increase energy levels to like 6, 7, 8. And then if you get really good, you can hit that 9, 10. And then, bro, they're going to be like, yo, why aren't you at that festival right now? And you're like, well, dude, I have these other clubs that I have to DJ at, and you want me coming to a festival, you got to pay me $30,000. And then it's a done deal, man. You got OT Tizzle. Good job, though. I know you have those ideas in your brain. Keep it up. You're going to bust them out. Wait, do we have a double submission from It's Ali? Oh, It's Ali. You thought you could sneak one in, my guy. I'm sorry, but we can't accept double submissions. Only one submission per human being. If you have a dog that makes music, you may submit his song instead of this one. Or a frog. Up next, we have Opetic. Opetic. Oh, right here. Opetic. Opetic. Dang. I'm glad you put that there, man. We got Handsome Squidward here. He's a AI generated Handsome Squidward. So this is a special time. This is a special day because we don't usually see something like this. All right, this is the autobiography of Opetic. WIP. Let us get it done. He looks like a rather dapper gentleman. This looks rather extravagant. I shall read the autobiography with my ears. Yo, let's go.
How about we just break our fucking necks right now?
For it. Go. Yeah. Go. There we go. Got some of that bounce. Some of that bounce. Bounce. Bounce.
Dude, you want a headbang?
Ah, nice. Good. That is the autobiography of Opetic. Sorry. Of Opetic. And that's how we get it done. Good job, man. Lots of movement, lots of dancing. I got lost in the sound. I definitely liked it. There was only literally one section that sounded, I guess you would say, unprofessional. Otherwise, everything else sounded very professional. Lots of different basses, and there's cohesion, so they all sound like they're related to each other. We start to bring in new sounds like the sustain. One thing that I would want you to look at, though, is like during important dynamic shifts and important transitional phrases like this, the sustain is still playing. It's pitching down right now. So during the call, the sustain is like quiet. There should be a moment of silence for the sustain so that we can go back and forth. And that's going to add like almost twice as much energy. Just that little tiny thing with this next drop. So just make sure everything is perfect with your timing and how things end. You want there to be maximum energy. That was sick. Dun, 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 dun. I love that sound. And then one of the main things that makes this a good record is these. There's a huge story being told. There, you can honestly add some vocals, or the human voice is more than just an instrument. It's like the way we access the universe. So if you add someone's voice on top of these, like, what is it? Trumpets, the horns, the brass, it's going to make a big difference, and it will complete the track. Because right now it almost sounds empty without him. It'll still be fine without him, but if you want to take it to the next level, finding that perfect vocal. And the vocal doesn't have to be someone singing or a guy rapping. It could be either one of those, but it could also be like someone narrating, someone speaking upon the autobiography of you. And dude, I'm telling you, man, everyone's gonna be wild. They're gonna keep listening to it over and over again because it's impactful. So, yep, that's what I would say. Good job, man. That's what I like to hear. You made me do a dancing time. Bravo. Optic, autobiography, handsome Squidward. Up next, we have Snasta. Snasta has been going hard. He has been submitting some heat, winning drip battles. He's a force to be reckoned with. I have high expectations. This is Project 4 by Snasta. Run it. Mom, where's the peanut butter? I need jelly. Let's go.
You want it all, don't you? The whole thing is a pack of lies.
Oh. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen.
You'd do it again if you thought you could.
Fuck. Good job. Fucking fire. Oh my god, dude. You're getting me all riled up over here, man. Project 4. Great record. Loving it. Dude, lots of creative stuff going on. You always amaze me with all, it's less is more, right? Not a lot of elements going on. There's probably not even more than 60 tracks in this, right? But I mean, what he's doing with all these sounds is what's beautiful. And you can tell because he could have easily made the drop unenergetic, but just listen to what he does to make the drop more impactful. How he, in the fake out, it's like super wet reverb and then it gets dry as soon as the drop comes. I mean, these are just professional things to do. Let's run that.
You want it all, don't you?
And then these dynamic shifts are just, I mean, perfect, you know? Like, the whole thing is a pack of lies. And just the transition between phrases is really good. And these creative spots, how you have like a delayed, filtered out bass in conjunction with all the other cool basses that fill out the other frequency spectrum. We have lows, mids, highs filled. So yeah, there's a lot going on. And these shifts right here. Let's get silent. Nice ear candy. Just beautiful. Good job. Project 4, Snasta, getting it done. Getting it done. All right. Very nice. Up next, we have Bal Insi Aga by Bio of the Sorcerer's Crew. Let's go ahead and check out what kind of designer music we got going on here. Run it.
Stupid bitch, Bernadette. She thought she gave me a fake banishing spell. Didn't realize. But she gave me a real, like, sensitive spell. It's Bob. They are mourning. It's a demon.
It's a demon? What? Okay. Well, that was a little bit demonic at the end. I don't know why, really. But I must say, we have a really nice guitar here. This riff is really nice. I like the flow and groove of this riff. Lots of energy. Dun-dun-dun. It's just like makes you want to headbang pretty hard. So just so you know, the timing of this song has been well established, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So like if we break that 1, 2, 3, 4 timing at any point of this song, it will be an issue. And I feel like that is what happened in the drop. It's almost like this drop was a separate project and then you like put the projects together. But this is feeling like a different rhythm and different groove than what was originally playing. So because of that, the transition is very abrupt from build up to drop. And because of that, the energy level is much lower than what it could be if the timing was perfect. Now, you hear how it like slows down. The timing slows down. The gun starts to like get like this swagger. They could get way too swagger. What's the word? Way too swaggerific. And they start leaning with it and rocking with it in ways that we just don't need. You know, we need them to go with the well-established groove that was set beforehand. So just keep those things in mind. It's going to help a lot with energy levels in the drop. And then, oh, for heaven's sake, the sub in this is blown to smithereens. Let's go ahead and listen. So the sub is actually louder than the main basses. And we usually don't have an actual subwoofer like in our room while we're making the music, unless you have a really nice studio. If you do have a sub in your room, it usually won't be working properly because the sub frequencies literally just bounce off the walls and just be bouncing all over the place. And then because of that, our ears can't perceive the right sound. So that's why people build professional studios, so all the sounds get diffused and nothing bounces off the walls. That's what a real studio does. So because of that, because we don't have subs in our, house, we have to do sub tests. So go to the club, test the song there, or go to your car, test the song in there. And you can actually compare it to other songs that have sub, and you can see if yours is right or wrong. Well, usually in our headphones, it sounds like the sub is not turned up enough. So we then turn it up a lot. And that's what's going on here. We've turned up the sub too much, and it sounds decent. But if you actually put this where there's a sub, it would be really, really blown out. It sounds a little bit like starting to get pretty blown out here, but if you were playing it with the sub, it'd be a lot different. We would lose those mids and highs, which are very important. So dynamics, control your sub, make sure everything has a nice, even space to chill and get crunked to. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, the flow is very simple. There's not a lot of movement, and we need the movement so that we can be dancing. So call, response, fill within a 4-bar phrase will go a very long way into umping up and amping up all the energies. So remember that, guys. Call, response, fill adds more energy than just adding sounds, new sounds over time. We have to do both, actually. So that's how we get it done. All right, that is Bow in C, Aga by Bio. Up next, we have Eek Beats with O Flower version 2. We don't have version 1, guys. We got upgraded. We got version 2. Let's go.
O flower of Scotland, when will we see your light again?
Yes.
That fought and died for your weakest hill and
Yes. This makes me want to resample a million things. Nice. Oh yeah, get crunk with it, my brother. All the lassos and maidens showeth at the puppet. Okay, hold up. Life again. hope that's you playing that flute. Just kidding. Oh, flower of Scotland. I don't remember hearing that song before, but that is nice. That was soothing. That felt good. It really puts you in a different, like, fucking time period. Isn't that crazy? Music can actually make us feel like we're in a different time period because of the instruments they use, because of the timbres. We just don't use those things anymore. So this is nice. This made me want to resample other things. Like I might fuck around, go resample Age of Empires now, or Lord of the Rings. All kinds of crazy stuff. I mean, there's so much good music out there that we could incorporate into our music. The way you switched it up here, this is very nice. We have a nice idea here. Although we're missing one really important element, which is the sub. The idea, so let's listen and you can see. So the main bass is so that's the main bass. So basically the sub needs to be following that. And you can barely hear or feel the sub. It's moving to that. But it's very, very low intensity. I mean, the flute that's being played right here is so loud compared to the sub. But that flute is ripping that shit. No, I love that flute. So basically, if we pumped up the jam on the sub and the mids, like the main bass that's in the mids, you add compression to pump it up, make it louder. Add saturation after the compression. Those are two easy things to make it loud enough and thick enough. The sub and something like this is going to be the most important thing. Remember, we're making bass music here. This can be like a psychedelic WUB song that people can get lost to and just enjoy the flutes and feel the sub, while they're on whatever they're on, That's what's good. That's what's nice. Otherwise, I like this idea a lot. Keep it up. Good job. Keep it going. Make sure you have 2 drops up in there. And get your sub right. Oh yeah, if you want to get your sub right. Sorry, I should have told you. So when you have a sub, right? Serum. Serum has a sub. You can use the sub oscillator if you want. But the main thing is, like, after you have your sine wave, it's never loud enough. So you have to turn it up. And you can turn it up using a saturator to make it loud, right? So like, watch, you can listen. Solo. So it's playing a saw wave. Turn off the saw. This is just a sub. This sounds loud enough. Like, this sounds like a good time, fun time. It's not though. So use your saturator, pump up the jam. And you're like, dude, that's too much. And then you're like, yeah, I know. So get the EQ8 and just carve out those frequencies. Only let the lows come through. Turn down the drive, adjust the dry and wet. You can do this however you want depending on your song. And you can get a much louder sub just with 2 things. And then what I like to do is add kick tight, because Ableton is amazing and Ableton has magic devices like this that will pump up the jam for you. So regular, kick tight version, regular, kick tight version. Stop sleeping, tune your kick tight, you have a fun time. Turn off serum. That's how you get your sub right. All right. Now, we shall get to the next song. Good job with Oh Flower by Eek Beats. We have Mipsy now. And Mipsy's coming in. Looks like casually and naturally with Jazz House in G minor. 124 beats per minute is what we're looking at here today. Mipsy, take this style. Oh yes. Is that the sax? Yep. No, Mipsy. Major vibes up in here. Yes. Guitar solo from Mipsy. I don't know. Pump. Hey, yo, Deborah. Come get me my saxophone. They're playing outside. He's doing a guitar solo right now, but I think they're gonna play the sax and I wanna join. Alright. Let's go. Oh yeah, thank you for that. Thank you for that follow, big old. Oh, whoa, whoa. Yes. That's clean. Pump up the jam, pump it up while your feet are jumping, while the crowd is pumping. Look at me, yeah, I am just stunting. Every go, round around on the dance floor. Yo, for sure. All right, that's Mipsy coming in hot. Actually, he ain't coming in hot, he's coming in smooth. Man, I'm happy that you're exploring all these different genres and you sound pretty good at all of them. This, though, feels really good. I watch a lot of YouTube, and there's a lot of YouTube people who choose music that sounds just like this. While, so like, the chillest, amazing saxophone house will just be playing in the background while the most epic thing is going on, or while the most chill thing or just good vibes are supposed to be portrayed. And this is it, man. Very clean. There was one section though where the guitar sounded out of key and it sounded very disruptive, and all the rest of the guitars sounded perfect after that. We need to check that. And then also towards the end, it starts to sound pretty like empty. It doesn't get repetitive, which is good, but it starts to sound empty, like there's some open space available that's not being used. So I really think that you should try to find a good girl vocal that's just smooth and just is lovely and just sits right upon, not saying too many words, but maybe just a phrase or something, ad libs. And that's going to make a huge difference in this song. It would then, this is almost like it's like songs without vocals are like instrumentals. For real, it's just instruments. But the vocal is an instrument times 100. It's the way the universe speaks to itself. We are just energy from the universe. We are just consciousness. We're all the same exact thing. We're all connected. And this music is what connects us. All right. Good job, Mipsy. You got me philosophizing on the saxophone. I got saxophone brain right now, man. It's that simple. Good job, Mipsy. Coming in hot. Jazz house. We're going to figure out this guitar thing real quick and then get on to the next. If we listen here. There she is, dog. There she is. Bro, this sounds... We're going to have to put a little sad face. Sad face. Sad face. All right, Mipsy. So just so you know, this is at... you're probably at 128. So it's like around 20 seconds. Around there somewhere. So just look at that guitar chord. Otherwise, very good job. Monster is up next. By who? By Stunna or Stixna? You never know. Monster. Let me know in the chat.
Silkwalker Contest 1.
Something I'm scared of. I suppose monsters. There are many types of monsters in this world. Monsters who are not sure themselves, monsters who devour dreams, monsters who have got children, monsters who suck blood, and monsters who always tell lies.
Monster. Cool. Nice. This is a nice idea. We definitely have some cool... this is a piece of art. We just have to perfect it and make sure that we can get all these little ninks scratched out. The vocals here, for example, are really good. Like this is all sounding nice here.
Understanding of the human heart.
The sound design in these sections, like these basses sound very weak, very thin. They need to be thicker. They need to be layered well. Anytime you have any type of dubstep bass, the layers should be involved. It needs to be sounding fat and big. Can't really be sounding weak like that. So check lows, mids, highs, make sure those are all filled in the frequency spectrum. And then you'll also want to make sure that you're layering properly, so you can layer mono and stereo together, and that can make something sound big as well. So little tricks like that. Then when we're in the drop, so these are sounding nice, but once we have the drop start, the melodic, so like the choirs and the synths and all the melodic elements start to sound even louder than the basses, which is a problem. So these need to be compressed, they need to be layered, they need to be grouped together, push them with compression and saturation. You don't have to use OTT, you don't have to go over the top. I use multiband dynamics and saturation. That's what I recommend. If you want to submit for feedback, guys, I'm going to give you the Discord in the chat. So go to my Discord and you can submit a SoundCloud link when you're ready to the live WIP feedback. This is how we get it done every Monday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Alrighty, now we're going to then look at this flow. You have some nice flow over here. So it's like fast, lots of energy with this flow. This fast energy flow really should be incorporated in the beginning of the drop too. Just having fast paced, and then maybe towards the end, then you can switch it up and slow it down with like some slower rhythms like this. So maybe start fast and go slow later, start switching it up. And lastly, call and response. So within your 4-bar phrase, as soon as the drop starts, you want to look at 4 bars. That 4 bar should have a call response fill. Right now, we're going to check to see what's in your 4-bar phrase. So we have this sound. So now it goes da, 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 and then we get into the thing. So we actually have a call here. In this little section, I call it the call buddy, which is the section right before the call and the response. Usually though, the call buddy should be a dynamic shift. So instead of it being loud, like what's before and what's after, it should be quiet. So it goes loud, quiet, back to loud, and then that will add a lot more energy, and it will make the transition from call to response even better. So then let's listen, starting with the response. Cool. So basically this is the main motif. And instead of you letting it continue, you actually add a new bass really quickly. And because of this, we lose what was already playing. And then now we looped it again. So within the 4-bar phrase, there's actually too much movement happening, too much going on, way too many basses. It should be simplified. Call, call buddy, response, fill at the end. And then after you're done with that, then maybe you can add 1 or 2 little tiny things during the response to add some more oomph. But you really have to keep it simple. Less is more. This is a common theme with all of your phrases. So you're going to have to simplify your phrases if you want people to be dancing even more and have more energy. Okay? Okay. Good job, man. That's what I like to see, though. That's the monster. Up next, we have Zenile. Never Felt. WIP. I'm actually going to go to the restroom to go pee. I'll be right back. Then we're going to continue. It's game time. Now, we have a song called Never Felt. It's actually only a minute, but we shall listen. Once again, Zanile. Let's get it done. Nice. I do see in the chat, you guys said Mr. Drip has to drip in his drip. You guys got jokes, huh? You guys got lots of jokes, huh? That's funny though, for real. All right. This song first starts out sick. This vocal. Really nice. And then it just feels good. Like just lots of bounce and like movement, like the way we move from this main hit right here. Like boom. Like you almost get thrown in. You get thrown into this next hit. Then see it's slow, fast. Then he switches it up. We got pretty nice flow right here going on. Cool sounds, lots of white noise. It just feels spacey. The hats and the drums, it keeps everything bouncy, very bouncy. I like this. It starts to get a little repetitive at the end, so you can start to make some even more drastic changes, some longer dynamic shifts, some longer fills, maybe like a bar in length, for example. Things like that will really amp it up to the next level. That's cool though. That's cool. Real rubbly dubbly. And then just check all the space. Don't double stack reverbs. Make sure your reverbs are cut like the lows so they don't clash with other stuff. Let's just double check how loud this is. It's not loud. So it's only -10. You want to get a little louder than this. You want to be at around -7, -6. So really start to use multiband compression and saturation. You can start turning up individual tracks. You're going to turn up your groups as well. And then you're going to turn up buses and anything else to help get it louder. That's the way to win. Getting it that perfect loudness. If it's too quiet, then energy is low. And we never want energy to be low. You know? For sure. Good job. Zanile, Never Felt. Sick cover art. Alright, up next we have bass capture with cursed contrivances. Yo, how can I not say this word? Contrivances? I'm gonna have the Google lady say it for me. Google lady, can you just tell me how to do this? I need to pronunciate contrivances. Cool. Now I feel less educated than before because I don't know how to say a word, but that's okay. You know, it's just English. We're going to go ahead and play this track. Let the frequencies absorb. clean.
Curses and silences are sinister devices, imbued with malevolent forces that wreak havoc and despair upon anyone who dares to use them.
Nice, man. We have some really sick intro vibes here. Very cinematic, you know, these dynamic shifts. It just gets quiet with the bell, so ominous. It's really nice. Sounds good. When we get to the drop, so it sounds pretty empty. There needs to be, it's missing something, and I'm pretty sure it's missing like tops, rides, hi-hats. That is really important. There's a reason the drum set has, the drum set is actually a majority rides and tops, and then it's toms, and then kick and snare. So filling out the frequency spectrum, high frequencies, it's going to be important. Plus, it's going to add more bounce and add more rhythm and groove to the track. So I would definitely try to start experimenting and figure out how to fit your tops into here. Now, when we're listening to this drop, it also sounds a little bit muffled too. So make sure you're using compression, pulling up all those highs, mids, and lows so that everything sounds loud and clean. When we get to the second drop, this is nice, good energy. Only thing is, well, good flow. I mean, the energy can be a lot higher if we have the guns full. Right now they sound thin and weak because there's only high frequencies really being played and a sub, when there should be like a lot of mids and low mid grunge into that gun formation. So just watch my latest tearout guns video so you can see how to layer, blend, and build huge tearout guns, because it's definitely a lot more than just putting two sounds together, or even three. You got to like post process it in a way to make all the frequencies pop out. So just, yeah, keep those things in mind. It's going to help a lot. Otherwise, keep it up with these really cinematic and unique intros. That is the way to go. Getting it done. Up next, we got Giddy with Rhythm Isn't Dubstep. Check out the cover art. This is a very unique, special cover art. It looks like his nose is gone. Silly doggo. All right. We have to get serious. Giddy has submitted something that looks to be rhythm dubstep. We shall listen. Let's go.
Dubstep.
It's
I guess rhythm isn't dubstep.
now that's some rhythm.
Now that's some rhythm. That is Giddy coming in with Rhythm Isn't Dubstep. Nice. We have some melodic, moving basses in here, and it adds a lot of story and emotion while at the same time adding beef and energy, which is like that's like Beef Stew Express, honestly. So if you listen here,
We consider rhythm
Dubstep.
you hear the notes like da 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 da. Like we're not just staying in the root note, you know. We're not root boys right now. We are melodic boys, and we're going up and down. Because of this, this is acting as the call and response. This is adding the movement. This is getting us moving in different directions. It honestly sounds good all the way up into here. And then once we get to the second drop, then the tones start to sound almost repetitive. So like the timbre and the pitch and the way it sounds to your ear starts to sound like, okay, we've heard this already. We definitely need something new. So be careful, because the frequencies that you hear, just like if you heard the sub, right? If you just hear the sub over and over, the sub gets less powerful over time. But if it's sub and then we remove the sub and then we go back to the sub, it becomes powerful again. It's the same thing here, but with these high frequency and mid frequency tones. So, I mean, automating knobs and serum to then change wavetable position, change warp mode position to add pitch and things. Simple things like that are all you need to do to then spice it up in different sections like that. So think about that. Let's look at these fills real quick. Nice, and you have good transitions between your phrase to the build-ups.
We consider rhythm
Dubstep.
Cool. And then last, I can't really feel a lot of sidechain going on. So just double check, make sure you have good sidechain. There should be some type of pumping going on. I think I do feel it. So just experiment with different levels of sidechain, see what is best. You know, there could be a sidechain that pumps a little bit harder that may fill and add a little bit more groove and bounce. So you never know. Make sure you test those sidechains. Otherwise, good job, Giddy. This is feeling good, feeling nice. That is not them. I apologize. Okay, cool. All right, so that's Giddy coming in hot. Up next, we got some Hot Ham. Hot Ham is by Smileys. It's whip as fuck. We have ham that's hot. Run it.
Hip hop, better duck down.
That is Hot Ham by Smileys. We're submitting some rhythm functions, it looks like. Now, one thing about this song is it's too loud. Honestly, you're just making rhythm. You're not making tearout. There's no reason for you to be at -3 LUFS. It's really loud. And the problem is like being loud's not an issue if it's clean, right? But the way this is mixed is, since it's really loud, I'm trying to turn it up more because the sub is actually not loud. Usually your sub is pretty piping, pretty hot, pretty loud and intense. The sub's pretty weak. And this one, it's like low volume. It's low volume compared to your main bass lead. So because of that, it makes me want to turn up the song so I could feel the sub more, but then the highs and the mids just get way too loud. And it literally is ear damaging. So you just got to be careful. You don't have to be that loud. -6 is loud enough. -5 is loud enough. And being at that range, you'll have more control over your dynamics. So I would recommend it, definitely. Flow, obviously, it's Smiley's flow. We also are grooving and moving like usual. Smiley's flow is very good. We just want to be getting that mix as professional as possible, making sure our frequencies cut through so that we can get the energies. I love me some energies. And it's a little bit delayed here too. Like you could definitely remember, you don't need to do another fake out here. You just faked us out for a long time, about 4 bars. So when we get here, I mean, we're almost salivating for the drop. But you then do another about half bar of fake out. So I just really would recommend against that. That is fine. You can leave it there, right? But energy levels will be higher if the timing is perfect. It's that simple. If you figure out the magic of the flow and timing. And remember this, if we were just listening to this by itself, it's literally perfect. But that's not how we listen to the song. When we listen to the song, we have to listen to the build-up and the fake out. And when we listen in context with the fake out, then you see this extra thing is just not needed because we have the fake out. But if we didn't have the fake out, then this would be amazing. So keep that in mind. Don't double stack them fake outs, my guy. If you're making hot ham, make it hot. Good job, Smileys, as usual, coming in with that heat fire. Up next, we have a track that I've never seen. I've never seen these two words used right next to each other. So let's say it. Bambi Thug, Doomsday Blue. This is the Magoo remix. Man, I don't even know what's going down, but I know what's going down. Let's go.
You were living a lie. 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 You were living a lie.
You were living a lie.
You were living a lie. You were living a lie.
Pathetic and perverse, speak to destroy the feelings I have. I cannot afford your twisted tongue as a hex deployed on you.
You were living a lie.
Let all the pretties in your bed escape your hands and make you sad. And all the things you wish you had, you lose.
You were living a lie.
Warning, warning. Lock yourself. Nice. Nicely done. That is Magoo with Bambi Thug Doomsday Blues remix. Cool. So we have some sick flow in here. Honestly, there are some sections that do sound like where they're missing, you know? So let's listen to this drop first. So if you like close your eyes and really like try to feel it out and listen to what's going on, you can start to see that all the sounds are like on the sides, and the only thing that's really in the middle is the sub. And the white noise with the sub is actually doing a lot more than we think. So whenever the basses are moving from one to another, you know how there's the dynamics, how it's going like in and out. So like, like these fast sections shouldn't have white noise being sustained through them. And because of the sub, white noise is basically just playing throughout the whole time. And the white noise is not moving at the same, in the same dynamic movements. So the white noise is just staying at full volume when really it should be going like full volume, low volume, going back, full, low, just like the basses are, so that they could be moving with the basses. Because the noise is being sustained throughout the whole thing, it's killing the dynamics of the drop and making it feel overcrowded and making it have less energy, which is a problem. Same thing for this section. This section. These basses are going to need to be louder. This is really nice, but if you like compare like the clap, for example, to your main bass sounds, the clap is way louder than your main basses, and the basses sound like there's no compression in it. So you want to add compressors, start bringing out the lows, mids, highs, getting those things a lot louder. So like the like that is louder than this. So be careful. We need these sounds, the main sounds of your drop, to be maximum energy, full volume. And this section, this feels overextended, feels like this doesn't really need to be there actually. So during the breakdown, you can get to the second drop fairly quickly. You don't really need to add anything extra in between. Otherwise, that is it. That is what you should look upon, and it'll increase the flow and energies. Good job, Magu. Good job. Nicely done. Up next, we have Earth Walker with You. Slow to speak, 140 BPM, D sharp minor. Yes. Let's go. Boom, 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 boom. Wow. Man. Oh, I have like chills just going through my body. Dude, the sub in this is really good. Like, boom, boom, boom. The way it's going, like from up to down to, it's just, oh God, it's hard to explain what I'm feeling. Like the delay is just super atmospheric. I mean, dude, like, there's a reason why people listen to music, and it's not because the music sounds good. It's because the music made you feel something, and you literally love that feeling, and you just want to keep feeling it again and again and again. So you just keep playing the song again, again. And this is a song that I would keep playing again and again because, like, I could just close my eyes and get lost and let the vibrations just literally vibrate the water in my body. And I'm just like, oh, it feels almost medicinal, you know, when frequencies are put together in harmony like this. This is good. Good job. This is very unique, creative. It reminds me of watching Of the Trees, Red Rock set, and everyone's just throwing down. And it's just like, to me, it's like peaceful dubstep, you know? This is dubstep that really puts you in tune with nature and the universe rather than make you want to stab somebody in the neck. You know? We need space for both. There's a yin and the yang, but it's nice to feel something like this. Lots of emotion, lots of feeling. Good job. I'm trying to think if I heard anything that needs to be improved or anything. Yeah, I like it. I think it's good. Obviously, the mix isn't perfect. So remember, I keep saying compression, saturation. You want to individually look at every track, make sure they're perfectly EQ'd, then use compression and saturation to turn things up and get things as bright and as loud as possible and as clean as possible. And also make sure that wide and mono, like your stereo image, is all filled up properly. You need that full control. You being a professional will make sure that you're doing everything exactly the way you want it rather than just letting it come out how it is. And this is good, but it could be even better if you just took a step back, compared it with other songs, and tried to see if any frequencies like highs, mids, or lows are lacking in any areas. Because we can always have a clean, fun time mix. Practicing mixing is important. Training your ears. Good job, Earthwalker. Killing it. Earthwalker is actually a winner. Is the winner of the last drip battle. So congratulations, Earthwalker. Killing the game. Killing that shit. Up next, Herbivore, the Rhythm Wizard. Check out this. It's the Grim Reaper in space on a piano. Looking real Chat GPT. Let's run it. Oh. That's the Rhythm Wizard by Herbivore. This is fun. This is cool. Once again, another song with melodic basses. We're going up, down, we're changing. Bum, 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 bum. So because of that, we have a lot of story being told. The thing is we kind of get thrown in to the main motif here, and there's not a lot of movement with call and response. So to increase energy levels, we really want to restructure these 4-bar phrases into a call response fill. So it'd be like bum 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 bum. And then in this section we have something different, right? It's going higher in pitch, but this needs to be a fill section. So you want there to be like more effects. Maybe you're filtering it out. Maybe you're adding different drums in this section. Anything to make this little section different than all the other sections. And then that can be a fill, which is basically just a transition section, which is the fill. And then this whole melodic motif, so that should be teased beforehand. We should be able to fill that rhythm beforehand, like maybe with a different instrument or this instrument filtered. And then once we get to the drop, it like gets fully opened and we hear the full melody at full force. That will be very impactful if you do that. Cohesion too is really important. So a lot of the mid basses that you're playing and layering together, they don't sound like they are relatives of each other. They don't sound like they live in the same city almost. They sound like they're from completely different areas and they're trying to get along, but they just don't. So when you're making your basses, you want to be training your ears. It's going to get easier over time, but you really want to make basses almost out of the same basses so that you can have very similar tones and timbres so that they can all blend together. Watch the Company Icon Collective excellent video and you'll be able to see how Company gets down. It's really helpful. At the end you have the brass playing with the basses, super fresh. Just telling a big story, and I think that's really important in music. So yeah, more stuff like that for sure. Good job, man. That's the Rhythm Wizard coming in all with his wizardry. And up next, it looks like we have a superstar, all-star player named Lodian with Triumph. Is it triumphant? We shall see. I love chimes. All right, good job. That's Triumph. Very nice flow, good melody. Really, the only thing that is missing here is a really fat, almost like singled out sub. The sub sounds almost lost and not separated from all the other sounds. And in some sections, it sounds muddy and almost like noise is cutting through. So let's check some things here. So when the sub comes in and that sub should be a lot more impactful. But the thing is it's really competing with a lot of other frequencies being played with the mid basses. So you have to use a lot of EQ to EQ out all the mid basses and high basses to fit well with the sub, and then be hyper aware of the noise that's coming through. So noise is just like really high frequency sounds. Your hats sound like noise. So in these sections, you can almost hear hats better. The hats also have like probably low frequencies being played that are competing with the other low frequencies. So just double check the hats, tune your hats, and maybe choose different hats or tops so that they can blend well with the actual track. So like that, it's like almost like a crash or a splash. And it's just, the tail's really long. It's messing up the dynamics of the song, and we really don't want that to happen. We want those hats to flow and be in harmony with what's going on with the drop. Yeah. So just, I think those hats are playing a lot of frequencies that are undesired, that are competing with what's going on. So check that out, and I think we'll be good to go. Good job. I like this. Anything you make usually has a lot of feeling and emotion and story, and that'll keep you coming back more and more. So good job, man. Lolian coming in for the win. Up next. Hey, that's a double submission. We unfortunately cannot. Wait, didn't we do one of yours already? Yeah, we did one of yours already. Okay, good. Unfortunately, we cannot do 2 submissions, just 1 submission. We have to move on to the next submission, which is appropriately named Wonky Shit 2.0. Not 1.0, we got 2.0. And this is going to be from Antonio, otherwise known as Lazy. Let's get it done. Oh, look at the picture. Look at the picture. Okay. All right. Wonky. Bump, 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 bump. Nice. Nice. This is bouncy. Cool. So this is Wonky Shit 2.0, naturally and casually. We got a little bit of bouncy motions. This fast bass, that's sick. It's definitely low volume. It could be turned up more. Compression, saturation. Also, at the beginning, there's not really a call here. We just go straight into the fast rhythms. If it was like rah, 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 and there's like a slow bass first and then it goes fast, that will make a big difference. So remember, it would go slow bass all the way into the 0.3, which is where the snare hits, and as soon as the snare hits, that's when it starts going fast again. So like a rah. And then as soon as it loops back, we do another rah. That would make a huge difference in the energy and flow. So remember, 4 bars from here to here. Call, response, fill, fun time. This fill, or is it this one? That's a sick fill right here. I don't know if you realize, but it's like everything, all the frequencies are being played and it's like filtered out. So we go from like loud to quieter, back to loud, which makes it very impactful when we hit here. And then we don't need a call right here because the fast bass started, but like add a nice fill, something prominent to keep the energy moving back and forth. That's about it. Yeah, that's about it. You guys, thank you for submitting. I really appreciate it. You guys are amazing. My Discord is where you can submit your future tracks for future feedback. Mondays, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is when I do these live streams. Hit me up on Instagram or Discord if you have any questions about production. And I do 1v1 lessons all the time, every day. So hit me up if you want to schedule a lesson, or go to dripment.com. I can give you a quote on bundle deals if you need them. Otherwise, stay fresh, dog. Keep up the bangers, guys. Don't stop learning. Remember, music and frequencies are life. So keep it real, keep it fresh all day. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.